Hi guys, this is Doc, and I'm going to be talking today about lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. I'm always asked that question, what is the difference between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse? And this is for my earth science class. That's what they're studying right now, solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. So that's what we're going to talk about here. And I've set up a little bit of a demonstration, hopefully that it's dark enough in here that everybody can see. So what I have is I have the Earth right here. This is the Earth, the tennis ball. I have the Moon, which is a super ball, right here, moving. And then I have my Sun, which is a bright flashlight. That is my Sun. Okay. And hopefully I have it pictured here so that you guys can see it. Notice how bright we have a light on the Earth. Super hot day today, and it's 97 degrees today. So super hot. So there's my Sun shining on my Earth, and then here's the Moon to the side. Okay, notice that there's light on the Moon, so you can see it as well. Okay, depends how bright it is outside, and depends on the location of the Moon whether or not you can see it or not. Okay, because usually you see it at what we think is at night, but sometimes in the early mornings you can still see the Moon too. All right, so let's talk about the first one, the solar eclipse. It's actually easier to explain than the lunar eclipse. Okay, so here we have the Earth right here. We have the Moon rotating around the Earth about believe it or not, about every 27.32 days. So let's just call it 28 days. Every 28 days, the Moon is rotating around the Earth. Well, if it so happens that the Moon is aligned right in between the Earth and the Sun, it casts a shadow on the Earth. Can you see that shadow right there? This is what it would look like if you're over here. You wouldn't even see the Moon because it's so bright out. But if you were in that shadow, you'd see a big black circle coming in front of the Sun, and that is your solar eclipse. Doesn't last very long, but it lasts long enough that you can see part of it, all of it, half of it, if you're in the shadow part on the Earth. So not everybody can see a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse at the same time. Depends where you are on the Earth, okay? So then the Moon rotates away, and all of a sudden the eclipse is over, okay? So one more time, the solar eclipse is when the Moon is in between the Earth and the Sun. That's where that shadow is right there. You'd be seeing a solar eclipse if you were positioned right there on the Earth, okay? Now, lunar eclipse, a little bit different. Remember, we've got the Earth is spinning all the time. It's, on its axis, and the Moon is going around the Earth. And you also have the Sun way out in space, but the Earth is also rotating around the Sun. It takes 365 days, and it rotates all the way around the Sun. It spins on its axis in about 24 hours. So it seems like the Sun's going around us, but we're actually spinning and moving around the Sun. And at the same time, believe it or not, the little Moon is also spinning and turning and going around us. Like we were the Sun, but we're the Earth, the Moon's going around. Okay, so what happens is we can see the Moon right here. Okay? Every so often, 2 to 3 years, whenever it occurs, the alignment happens where the Moon, as it's coming around, disappears into the shadow of the Earth, because the Earth is now directly in between the Moon and the Sun. Directly between the Moon and the Sun. So, big old Earth here casts this huge shadow and completely blocks out the Moon until it keeps moving around slowly, right? Because it takes 27.32 days, right, to move around the Earth, okay? So it comes around, and we can see it again, all right? So again, the lunar eclipse, the Moon, when it is eclipsed, happens when the Earth is directly in between the light from the sun and the moon. Okay? Hopefully that made sense. If you have any further questions, you can ask me in my office hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 o'clock to 8:30. Or even in my chat room, if you want to ask a question about it, feel free to do that as well. And that's at 11 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Or you can email me. So I hope everybody has that cleared up and they understand the difference between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. Okay? Take care, and that's Doc out.